Welcome back to Green Sports Zone. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Gary's Paint Body Shop Dalton Ramsey Show, where we cover everything on the diamond with South Green Rebels head coach Dalton Ramsey. Coach, what's going on? How's it going today?
I can't complain.
Fellas, go ahead and introduce yourselves one by one.
Brendan Lisenby.
I'm Jacob Susong.
I'm Seth Franklin.
So we've got some seniors out here with us today. I know last year I think we had how many? Four last year.
Four last year.
Supposed to have four. We've got the empty seat.
We got the empty seat. Colby actually had to go see some family, so he's not going to be joining us today. But I'm glad we could get these three out here to come out here.
We're leaving the seat out here just in case he does.
Exactly. He may show up.
You never know. So in case he does, we've already got the chair out here ready for him. But Coach, we talked about Hampton last week. You went into that final matchup with Chucky Doak as we had previewed last Friday. Came out on the losing side of things, 8-6. Competed well though, stayed in it all the way throughout, and gave Chucky Doak probably the best run for their money on their way to the district championship. Take me through that game from start to finish on Friday night.
Man, it was kind of like what we talked about mentality-wise. You know, it was a do-or-die situation for us. Chucky Doak could lose the first one, win the second one, and be fine still. But for us, it was a do-or-die situation, and I actually got to pull my seniors out there right before it, and I said, you know, just leave your hearts out here on the field. And I can't complain one bit. I think Jacob ended up having like 7 outs that game, which is 1/3 of a baseball game.
And like 3 that went over his head.
And 3. There was 1, I'm pretty sure. But all I got to say is, you know, and then Brendan, you know, Brendan has the game of his life probably hitting. I mean, just goes 3 for 4 with a double, a single, hit a home run, 1 triple away from, you know, a cycle. And then Seth always goes out there and puts his heart on the line for the game. I can officially say, you know,
one time
all 3 of these contributed a lot in that game. Colby did too. Just crazy what these seniors have done for us this season, and I'm very excited, you know, to get to talk about that today.
I mean, how happy were you with the performance? I know you come out on the losing side of things, but it's a 2-run loss to Chucky Doak, was 1 run going into, I think, the bottom of the 6th inning where they put 1 more insurance run in. So to be able to stay that close with Chucky Doak after not being able to compete as well with them through the regular season, how happy were you with the showing that you put on the field?
I mean, it just shows how much we grew throughout the season. You know, at the start of the season, we really wasn't producing anything. I mean, I think the most we had scored up until about the halfway point was about 3 runs. So, I mean, just to see that crazy number of going from 3 up to 6, you know, in a championship game like that, well, not championship, but, you know, leading to the championship. I mean, it's pretty crazy to, you know, be able to compete at that level at the very end. So, very proud, very proud.
Flipping it over to you guys, I talked about the pair of Hampton games with him last week. I'm going to run through all the district games with you all and ask you each about how much you enjoyed it this year. So, do you want to start and go left to right? I guess you got it, Brandon.
Well, the first Hampton game for me wasn't too great because I didn't play very much in it because I made a very stupid decision. Then the second one was all right. Had a single, 2 RBIs, but it went okay.
I was happy with both of them. I never thought that I was going to get to play again this season after I broke my, what's that thing called? Acromion in my shoulder. I broke my bone. I was just happy I got to play again.
Well, on me. First game, I didn't do too hard. I started right off on the mound, walked the first 4. And then went back there in my original spot to catch. I threw it to the outfield twice and let them score 4 or something. It was 3 or 4. Second game, I turned around, hit 2 home runs and 1 at bat. It's pretty sick.
It's pretty rare.
And then, I don't know, 1 or 2 doubles. It's pretty good.
Talking about the Chucky Doak game too, I know he bragged on y'all and putting it all on the line in your last game out there, and you played Chucky Doak to a pretty close margin, which you hadn't been able to do this year. How happy were you with how things played out in that Chucky Doak game, even though it resulted in a loss?
I was really happy. Hit my only high school home run. Had a good game. Didn't really have anything hit to me, so I didn't have a chance to make an error, but other than that, I hit the ball really well.
My favorite thing about baseball is actually getting the ball hit to me, and I finally did after all season nobody hitting the ball to me. I felt like the game was in my hands, and I loved it.
I hit the ball pretty well that day, except the first one I popped it up to the second baseman. But then after that, I turned it back on. And last time I was on the field, I got to throw out probably one of the fastest kids in the conference. For the last time I've been out there. He probably was.
No, he ain't.
Brandon, I want to ask you
Shout out
also.
to Jake Hinkle for robbing me of the triple that would have gave me the cycle.
There you go.
I won't.
Why are
forget
you
that.
guys the
Say it. 4.
Brennan, I was going to ask you too. You mentioned that you've only ever hit one home run in high school, and it comes in your last game too. So how special of a moment was that for you to finally get that last one in what was your last game as a senior?
It was really cool. I had no idea that it was going to get over the fence. I thought that it was going to hit the top, and I was just thinking get on second, and then Coach Carson screamed, and I got really excited.
So did you see it go over?
Barely. I thought it hit the yellow part of the fence, but
Good hit.
it was pretty cool.
It was
How about the backflip?
right on the barrel. I mean, as soon as you heard the contact of it, I mean, it had a good chance of it. And like Brennan said, sometimes you hit them balls really, really good, and sometimes they just die. But for him to get that in that last game, I thought that was awesome.
Chucky Doke's a pretty favorable ballpark to hit one at. Too.
It is.
Softball field.
Jake, I want to ask you also, you mentioned that you had a lot of things come to you in that game also. You'd been wanting it to happen, and it finally happened. Do you think it was just one of those things, being your last game, that you think everything come to you and you had things in your hands?
I don't know. I've just always been comfortable. I'd rather the game be in my hands than anyone else's.
That's a little cocky.
It is, but I'd much rather be in my hands than anyone else's. Just luck, I guess.
I like to have that on video. When he tried to dive, we found out why he don't ever dive.
My junior year, I dove and made 18.
That was
different
TJ.
rounds. That was not TJ.
Seth, I got to pick on you. You had a pretty good dive at that North Green game. At North Green.
Yeah, pulled my pants down. That is probably, I don't even know. I don't know why I did it. Tried. Just tried.
Effort. You got to love the effort, though.
Yeah, I landed it, unbuttoned my belt, and pulled my pants down. That was a rough game.
I want to ask you about the Chucky Doke game also. You talk about throwing out one of the fastest runners back there behind the plate. In that Chucky Doke game, knowing the season's on the line and you've got one of the fastest kids on bases right there, what goes through your mind?
I know I was looking over at him. He pulled out whatever that slide mitt or whatever it is. I knew he was fast. And they never steal on me. They didn't unless the ball got by me big time. But they wouldn't ever steal on me. And I seen him get Nancy over there, and I knew he was going to take off on one of them. He didn't on the first one, but he did on that second one, and I just reared back and threw it. That's my money maker.
The arm.
Yeah, that's about all I got going for me.
Well, it does suck that the season comes to an end. I always hate having this last interview also, but going into the break, coming back after the break, we'll talk about some of the favorite memories, moments, games, and what you remember about the team, and have a little bit of a lighthearted conversation. So stick with us. We'll talk about some of those things right after this break here on Green Sports Zone.
For more than 30 years, Tommy's Plumbing has served customers in East Tennessee with licensed and professional plumbing services. From installing your new faucet to replacing your existing piping system, our team at Tommy's Plumbing is trained to handle the job with professionalism, attention to detail, and integrity. By offering warranties on most products installed by our technicians, Tommy's Plumbing stands behind our work, ensuring that your plumbing needs are not only met, but that your problem is solved for the long term. When you need reliable and professional plumbing service, Tommy's is the only call to make. So give us a call today and let us show you the Tommy's difference. At Corner Pond, the friendly and knowledgeable staff has the experience necessary to help you out regardless the need. Have an item of value you'd like to pawn or sell? Corner Pond can help. They pawn numerous items of value, including firearms, tools, ammunition, silver, coins, and much more. When you walk through their doors, you'll find well-stocked shelves full of electronics, gaming systems, fishing and hunting equipment, car audio and accessories. And don't forget about the room full of guitars and basses and amplifiers, or their outside lawn and garden equipment. Corner Pawn is a case knife dealer and carries numerous used knives as well. Stop by and let the friendly staff at Corner Pawn help you today at 432 East Bernard Avenue, Greenville, Tennessee.
Welcome back to Green Sports Zone. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Gary's Paint and Body Shop Dalton Ramsey Show, where we cover everything out here on the diamond with the South Green Rebels baseball team. As always, joined here with head coach Dalton Ramsey. So it's the end of the season. I know it's hard having this conversation, but I try to make it a little bit lighthearted. Let's talk about some of your favorites throughout the year. Favorite games, favorite moments, favorite memories. We'll start off with your favorite moments. We'll ask them too. We'll go from you, and then we'll go left to right for them.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be necessarily just one. You can spit out a few favorite memories, moments, but go through your favorite moments throughout the season with this team.
You're starting with me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Favorite moments probably had to be practice time. That was the time for us to kind of communicate what we needed to work on and stuff like that. You know, I can hint on these three seniors sitting here and Colby that, you know, not here right now. But I can hit on them. You know, there was sometimes during practice that I could tell them, hey, go work on your position group, and they knew exactly what to do. So just seeing that growth and development from them four, you know, it's just that's kind of my favorite moments, is just to see that progress throughout the years and see what they have turned into. And then, you know, favorite games and stuff like that. Obviously, the wins are going to probably be my favorite games. And out of those wins that we had, you know, you just kind of seen the spark in us that I knew we had this entire season. And, you know, we didn't tie it all together, you know, till the very end. You know, we played 2 competitive games right there at the very end. But we waited until the end of the season to do that. But we had the fire in us. It was just we just didn't tie it all together at the right moments. So,
going through you all too, what are your favorite moments from the season?
Definitely the last game. Got to have a pretty good day. Played, had a good time. The bus rides back from like Johnson County, places like that are always fun. People start playing music and going crazy and having a good time.
I like the car rides to and from games whenever Colby was driving. Me, Seth, Charlie, Colby would pile in there and we'd have a good time. That's some of my favorite moments.
Probably the same as him. Car rides, especially when we was down there in that tournament with them MLB teams. Early mornings down there. Yeah, the rides was fun. And just when I would hit the ball really, really hard. That's a good time too. And when I got to come out from behind the plate, I've never got to do that. I've always been behind there. Might not been good when I come out from behind there, but it was fun.
It's a different experience for you.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your favorite game too. What was your favorite game throughout the year?
Favorite game. That's pretty tough because I mean, like if you look at the entire season as a whole, there's like different parts and different games that I really. It was kind of like, wow, you know, that was kind of fun and engaging. Like, you know, for example, Seth, like you said, he's never been out from behind the plate. So the first game that we put him in to pitch, you know, I'm a nervous wreck because I'm like, hey, he's not going to know how to pitch. He comes up there and he's pounding the zone, he's throwing strikes, and I'm like, dang, this could work out good for us, you know, just little moments like that. You know, Sue getting hurt and then him coming in there towards the end of the season and saying, yeah, I'm available to play, you know, that's just, you know, that's kind of a fun moment for me, fun game just to see him back out there. And then Brendan, you know, Brendan got hurt back in football, comes out here first game, gets hurt again, goes back through the recovery process, but, you know, he still wanted to and still wanted to be a part of that lineup. So, you know, we got to DH him this season. And then, you know, when he started progressing more and more and more to throwing, he was able to play the field. So, you know, just some small moments throughout the season. Yeah, so I'd say if I had to choose a favorite game, I would probably say the Hampton game that we did play up at Hampton, because I think that was the first time, like, we had a really solid lineup out in the field, and we just competed through and through. And I was very happy with that one. So,
flipping the question down to Brennan.
The last one, all the games we won were just fun. Because winning's fun, losing sucks. The first game back after I got hurt in the first game was pretty good because it kind of just felt like a relief. I didn't know if I was going to get to play again. But coming back from injury is always hard, so I had a rough day that day, but I came back and had a good game after that.
My favorite was definitely the last game against Chucky Doak. Like I said, I just like the game being in my hands. I got the most out. I liked it.
Most errors too.
One
I
error on the
ain't
year.
never seen him do that before, man. It happened twice. I'm sorry, it happened twice.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did.
I caught one.
And then there was on the third or the second time that I'm thinking it happened twice.
So
See,
how many balls did you throw in the outfield against him?
Two. I was a little tore up. I went straight from the mound. I went straight from that big old Mount Everest mound back there to catching, tried to throw it down. I ain't gonna blame it on nobody but himself. It's alright.
Seth, what was your favorite game throughout the year?
I don't know. I mean, probably the Hamptons games. Or, well, no.
His first home run.
It probably my first home run. I like that game. It was raining. It's like something out of a movie. We did lose. It was senior night, and it was raining. And I've always told myself I never can lead off. And it was seventh inning. I think we was down by 3.
I think we were down by 2.
2.
Yeah.
It was down by 2 or something. And I was the lead off, and swung as hard as I could, and missed it. About broke my leg. And he about hit me in the kneecap, and everybody was making fun of me for not wearing it, even though I take them off the head and face and everything. So I got mad and just swung as hard as I could. I thought I hit a pop fly and threw the bat back in the dugout. Just took off moseying down the first baseline. It landed on the football field.
So you had an accidental bat flip.
Yeah,
An unintentional bat flip, I should say.
it was an accident. I was mad.
I do want to kind of hit on that for a second, just as a funny little, not really.
That was
funny.
my next question. Favorite memories? Is that
So
one
like,
of
not this ain't like a super funny moment, but it's actually kind of funny. This boy has probably wore more balls off of his head throughout his entire high school career than I can count.
That's what they gave you a helmet for.
That's his motto.
I like
When
that, though. I
when
like
he steps
that.
up to the plate, that is his motto.
I'm finding a way on.
Sue, funny moment for him. I mean, the boy, back when he was a freshman, I knew that he was big into football. I did not think that he was going to care about baseball that much. But he comes out here every single day, and then for some reason, it's a leadership quality that I think he has. He just proves me wrong time and time again that I thought that he was strictly about football, because I felt like he had a love for the baseball game that was crazy. And then Brendan, same thing for him about the leadership role. Seth, same thing. Colby, same thing. I mean, it's just the small things like you learn throughout the season about how a kid can become a leader. They start as a freshman, the year. I think, did all 4 of you start as a freshman?
I did.
I know you did, Brendan.
and there.
Seth, I know you did.
Here and there.
Here and there, and I think Colby was here and there. So, as a freshman, they were starting in the varsity lineup, but then, junior year, senior year, they're a crucial part of that lineup. Even their sophomore year, really. They were a crucial part of that lineup. Like, they played all 4 years, and they played with the amount of leadership that every coach wants to have. So, I was very happy with that. So, that's a favorite memory of mine.
Getting to play with my brother my freshman year was pretty cool. Just getting to learn from him and see all the things he could teach me and keep me going playing the sport.
Favorite memory, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to ponder on that one for a minute. Seth,
You want to go to Seth first?
You want to go ahead and go with me? You think?
going, yeah.
I done said my home runs.
You can say it again.
Well, that's all right. Probably down there at Happy Valley. It was when we played them there, which we beat them both times, didn't we? Yeah. I got hit the first at bat, had the red mark right there, like floated off of me, and he said I didn't get hit, and then I flew out, and then come up towards the end of the game, which it wasn't a close game, so I didn't really get mad, but I did get mad because all I did was squatted down to get out of the way, and the curveball broke and hit me right in the back of the head, and which I didn't lean forward or nothing, so he made me come back, and then I got nicked again, and he didn't let me go to the base, and then which it'd have been cool if it wasn't a foul ball, but I put one across the creek, foul ball home run over there, and then I think I struck out after. No, I didn't. I got a single.
You got to single that. Yeah.
But it's pretty cool, just because the whole place went quiet after, because Ramsey was tore up because they wouldn't let me go to first base, and then I think it was at my feet, and I swung at it and hit it a mile out of there. But it was a foul ball, so it didn't count for nothing. It was just cool to watch.
Did you pull it?
Yeah, I had a bad problem, but I still had a bad problem pulling them. I'm always early. I ain't got the patience to wait.
So his 2 home runs that he was talking about,
Yeah.
in his one at bat, the first one was a hard pull. Like
It was
in
fair.
my honest opinion, it did curve around the foul pole because at Chucky Doak it landed like down at the football field.
Okay.
So I think it curved, but again, it could have went foul. But then he comes in.
That was one of them
It was
ones
like
that I could have done
2
a backflip,
pitches later,
backflip.
hits one out.
Whatever I wanted
So
to.
he, for him to keep his head through that was pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Oh, yeah, that's probably my top one, because that's just everybody when you do something cool, you just got it in your brain when you go up to bat. Like if you hit a hard ball but it's a foul ball, and everybody's like straighten that out. It's always in your brain. You want to do it. I hit that foul ball home run, and then everybody's like straighten it up. Everybody's all excited, and then he throws a ball, and then that next one I hit it a mile up in the air, which I didn't think it was going nowhere because the outfielder acted like he was sitting right underneath of it, and then he took off running to the fence, and it landed over and bounced onto the football field, hit that concrete right there. I put too much loft on it, but it still left. That's pretty cool. I'll remember that for a while.
Jacob, going back to you, do you have one?
I can't pick between 2.
Go for him.
Our junior year at Happy Valley.
Oh my gosh.
Your ejections?
3, sorry. Either getting ejected for running that kid over at home. That was pretty cool.
The bad thing is he didn't even run him over. He just went there and pushed him, and he did a backflip. He just did a backflip.
Well, maybe it was my sophomore year at Happy Valley. We decided to take a picture. We didn't know what we was taking a picture on, but we did take the picture. Then we tried to get in a fight. That was pretty funny. I thought it was
Try
hilarious.
to get in a fight. They tried to fight us.
We were trying to get in a fight with them. Or my sophomore year, we was playing Chucky Doak and we was winning, not by much. And they brought me into close, and I got Caden Tullock, Dylan Shelton, I think Christian Derry, all 3 of them out in a row, won the game. That was pretty
That's
cool.
because Caden run you over. That's why you got him out.
It was a pop fly right there.
Yeah, and he run you over.
Because I was standing there like this, and he just bumped into me. He was out.
You got plowed.
No. Anyway, that was pretty cool.
Last question, too. I'll ask you, what's one thing you'll remember about this team?
One thing I'll remember about this team, it's definitely the growth that we had, throughout the entire season. To start off with injury, and then we had 2 others get injured. Yeah, 2 others get injured, and then midway through the season we have another injury. Just the amount of fight and growth that we had throughout the season, and the amount of leadership that I had on this team, from these seniors and juniors even involved in that as well. The amount of leadership to coach them young guys to be better. That's one thing I'm definitely going to remember from this team.
Well, I think I'm out of questions.
Gotcha.
I think that's all the ones I've got. Unless there's anything you or the board like to add, I think that's all I've got for you today.
There's one question.
There is one. You got me. I almost forgot about it. I asked you about it in the 90 feet segment.
Yeah.
I want to ask them. We sort of discussed it during the break, but we need to get this on record. In a fight, the question that's coming. 100 men or 100 humans, 1 gorilla. Who's winning?
100 humans, easy, every day of the week.
How big's a gorilla? Like a very large
We're going with
gorilla?
that one. We're going with the one that was recorded the biggest one. He's like right at like 7-8 foot tall and 1,800 pounds. Standing like this.
There is no
That's a
gorilla.
lie.
That ain't lie.
Everywhere.
There's a
King
video
Kong's
of it.
not real.
They
King
call,
Kong's
they,
not
no,
real.
they
This
call
is not
it's-
Disney World, Seth.
It's not. It's called he's called like the Silverback Mountain Gorilla or something. He's real.
That is
Look him
made up.
Look him
No.
up. He ain't made up.
1,800 pounds.
They threw an apple at him and he stood up and stood there like this.
Anyway,
This is the beginning of our practices.
if the men are smart and make a game plan, they have a chance of winning. But if they just go in there trying to kill a gorilla, the gorilla is tearing everyone up.
Gorillas
They gotta
are
have a
fat,
nice game
slow
plan.
and stupid.
No.
And they're
get
also
tired.
killers.
No, they're not.
Are gorillas stupid?
Yes.
No,
Are
they ain't
Yes,
stupid.
They have
they're
thumbs.
Stupid. Okay, that doesn't mean you're smart. You have
Some
thumbs.
primates are smart and some aren't, so I don't know which one the gorilla falls in.
I'm gonna say smart.
You can
Can I give you some future let me give you what these boys have come up with throughout the season to ask
Okay.
coaches as well. So Brendan, what's one that you would want to be
I'd rather
answered?
be in a coffin with one snake or 100 spiders.
One snake.
Okay.
100 spiders is
I can't say any of these.
too
out loud.
much.
All right, Jacob.
I can't,
You can't say yours out loud.
any of them.
Seth.
I can't think of one that's appropriate.
No, put yourself. You talked about it in between when we were taking a break there for a second. You talked about it. What's
Oh,
the
I
one?
said something about 100 Ramseys versus.
No, I'm not talking about the me one. I'm talking about the you one.
Oh, dude. 50 of me versus Prime Mike Tyson, he's done. He's killed. In a street fight, he is out of it. I mean, even if he's got a pipe in his hand, what's one of him going to do against 50 of me?
50
with
is a
pipe?
lot.
And he can't bite 50 of my ears off at one time. I mean, he's going to be gnawing on one ear and the other 49 is going to have him.
50, I think you got him.
Yeah.
Because you see if you watch like cops episodes, you see they got 7 or 8 cops that'll take down those big men. I think 50 people could take. Yeah. Now if it's a fight,
Like one-on-one?
one-on-one, is he taking 50 of you?
What do you mean, like?
Like one at a time.
One at a
one at a
time. You
time?
line up one at a
Seth's
time.
get killed.
Probably.
50
I
of
want
you
you to
dead.
think about the
Prime,
logic
yeah.
you're going off of here.
Hey, but
If it takes 50 men to kill Mike Tyson, then 100 men is definitely not killing
I
a
don't
gorilla.
think it takes 50 men to kill Mike Tyson.
This is my argument. This is always
7.
my argument when it comes to the gorilla. If we've got 100 humans and that first person has the courage to go out there and the other 99 see that gorilla snap that human in half,
Oh yeah.
who's got the bravery to go next?
Dude,
I'm
we
gonna
could
I'll
all
tell you,
bum
I'm
rush
running.
Hey, what do you mean, dude?
I'm
Harambe.
running.
I'm on the gorilla side.
No, I don't think you
99.
get a tranquilizer.
2 versus 99.
2 versus 99.
I
After
get like
one's been
rocks and
killed.
sticks and stuff.
There needs to be context behind it. I agree.
I'll just go ahead and tell you, if the 100 people have to go in there barehanded, nothing. Like if this is back in the day, they got a piece of cloth over the private parts, they're naked, and going against this gorilla. 100 versus that gorilla, man, he's gonna take the first dude's leg and beat the rest of them with it. He's killing them all.
He's gonna get tired after man.
They don't get
30 or
tired,
40.
dude. They walk around on 4s all day. They ain't getting
Yeah,
tired.
but
It's
he's
kinda
having
like
to
a-
fight for his life right now.
It's kind of like
He's
a
going to
big
get
black
tired.
bear.
If
It's
you- oh,
going to
there.
sit down and just start slinging.
If you go with average
He's
Joe,
gonna
like
get tired.
somebody maybe like sitting about in between 5'8", 5'10", 130 pounds, yeah, he's killing all
They're
of
just
them.
not one
But,
third.
I mean, I'm talking about little boys, like normal
We're
sized
not
human
seeing
beings.
teeth.
All right, if you go with like Eddie Hall and all them strong people,
Yeah,
like,
they're
you get to
gonna pick my
build your
team, it's
team
over.
and you take all like the big strong people and all the people that can fist fight and do
I've
MMA and everything. Yeah, they're
I've
gonna
asked
beat
a
him.
few coaches this question. This will be the last one I leave off with. If you had to assemble your whole team, who are your 3 team captains?
John Jones,
Okay.
Eddie
Ryan
Hall.
Shaw, and the Thor dude that was in Game of Thrones that like has the deadlift
Yeah.
record.
Okay.
That'd be my 3.
Who's your top 3?
I'm going to say Eddie Hall.
He can throw hands too. You see him fight him too. Well, there's some normal people versus him. He's just a big dude.
Stop.
I need a tactical genius. Who is like a...
Jacob's pulling up with Donald Trump.
give me Eddie Hall.
Forrest Gump. I'm jumping it.
Forrest Gump.
Eddie Hall.
Oh.
Francis Ngannou.
Okay,
Hey,
good
Bill
pick. Good
Belichick.
pick.
I just need like a tactical genius, like an absolute killer.
Bill Belichick.
You put McGregor in there?
No. Why we want him?
McGregor in there?
He's got a grill on his chest, so that thing might. Yeah, exactly.
Might jump out there and get him.
He might see the grill on his chest and get it.
Let's see here.
And I'm gonna take. This is hard. The third person, what did I say? Francis Ngannou, Eddie Hall. I'm gonna have to put Brian Shaw in there too.
Brian Shaw.
Yeah.
Too strong.
I'm gonna go. We're gonna go off toughness because it's gonna take a bunch of toughness to kill that thing. I'm gonna start off Hank Williams Jr. because he fell off a cliff.
Okay.
He fell off a cliff and didn't die.
Me. if we're
Mark
going
Henry from the WWE,
Good pick.
Good pick on that one, yeah.
and probably Brock Lesnar from the WWE.
Good picks. Hey, he was a
Big
UFC
boys.
fighter too.
Oh wait, no, I'm gonna take Hank Williams out. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Got him 1-on-1. He's done for.
Oh, man.
Going with the WWE people. That used to be a big argument over if that was fake. Yes, it's scripted.
WWE.
But when
is
they
fake.
hit each other over the top of the head, just bonk. That's not fake. I mean, you hitting each
Well,
other.
that's what they do.
Oh, okay. All right. I ain't getting into this on here. We'll be on here for an hour. It's
Coach,
scripted.
Absolutely.
that's all I've got with you. Fellas, thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining me. Thank you all for watching this last edition of the Gary's Paint and Body Shop Dalton Ramsey Show. Look forward to seeing you next year here on Green Sports Zone.